Good morning. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Pippi Peterson. So the other day I reached into my refrigerator and I could feel that I didn't think it was as cold as it normally is. And I looked in the freezer and I thought, maybe, and I thought perhaps, because the refrigerator and the freezer, they kind of come on and off. And I thought, well, maybe I caught it in like the warmest time possible. So I forgot about it. I ran some errands and I came back and lo and behold, it was feeling even warmer in the fridge. So I was like, shucks. So anyway, I wanted to go over some ideas that you can check if you're having problems, either electrical problems in general or particularly with your refrigerator. So your RV might have something that looks like this outside, and my refrigerator is right on the other side. So this is the access to the back of the refrigerator. So it just comes off really easy. It's just got these little plastic screws. So here it is in like very, very basic terms, and I'm not a refrigeration person, but just from my own knowledge and research and discovery and learning. Okay, you have your refrigerator inside, which is pretty much the plastic box, and then on the outside you have a couple items, one in particular being the cooling unit, and that's kind of the entire thing behind your refrigerator, no pun intended. But it's pretty much this whole metal thing. It's got the pipes that go up it, and it's going to be about the entire size of the back of your fridge. So oftentimes the cooling units will go out. One thing that happens with them is one thing that you can kind of check, and you don't have to be an expert, as I am also not an expert, but there's a couple of things you can check. One sign that your cooling unit might be out is if you've got like some yellow powder or ammonia smells. That would mean that the coolant in your cooling unit is somehow leaking, and pretty much at that point, from what I understand, you have to get a new cooling unit or a new refrigerator. You can't just repair the leak. However, I'm sure there's some people that probably can, but so yeah, check if there's some yellow powder or the ammonia smell. The ammonia smell means it's still fresh. Yellow powder means it's been leaking for a while. Okay, then you have your electrical components, and mine is in this little black box. If I continue to have problems, I would take the black box off, and in all honesty, I wouldn't know what I was doing, but I might find something to do. So there's that. You can check. You can always check and make sure that cables aren't frayed or chewed, for example, by rodents. That they haven't burnt out, there wasn't like a little spark that kind of caused them to get burnt or something. So you can kind of check that, make sure it looks okay. Then you have, there's another little component. A lot of RV refrigerators and freezers, as mine, they have the ability to run on electric or gas. So if you have been running your refrigerator on gas, behind here is where your pilot light is going to, let's see, I don't think there's a pilot light, but there's a little light to keep it all going. So that's behind there, as well as a flume. So if you've been running it on gas a lot, you might actually see that you've accumulated a little bit of like charcoal or some soot. So possibly in some cases I've heard of people who just had like too much soot that the flame actually couldn't start. So you want to clear that off, and then there is a little metal bar that goes into the flume, and sometimes that can get so much debris on it that I don't know, it triggers something, clogs up or whatever. Alright, so that's kind of the basics of what I know, and hopefully now you can know a little bit as well. But the first thing you want to check when you have particularly a refrigerator that is not turning on, so when I opened my refrigerator door, the light was on, but it was not cooling. So I checked to see if that was on electric. I checked to see if it would run on gas. Well, it did run on gas. Thank goodness. Hallelujah. Which means it's not the cooling unit. If you can't get it to run on gas or electric, it's possibly the cooling unit. Excuse me. Let's see. So, because I was able to get it to run on gas, I knew that it wasn't the cooling unit. And from there, I started from the basics, because it was obviously an electrical problem. By the way, the light inside, that runs on, so you might think, okay, the light inside is kind of totally unconnected. For example, if you're just running on your battery and you haven't turned your refrigerator onto gas, and so pretty much your refrigerator's not on, your light will still come on. So that's like part of the coach battery that will turn that light on. So that's not too much of a warning sign, at least in my case. And a little deceiving because you think it's on, but it wasn't. So anyway, okay, so I knew that mine was an electrical problem because I was able to get it to run on gas. And so the first thing I did, the basics, I came out here and I checked the electrical plug. So I took my ohm meter and I plugged it in to the outlet, and lo and behold, I had no electricity. So even better news, because I know it's not the refrigerator. So I knew I just had to deal with something relating to the outlet, which is still a little scary, like, oh gosh, what's going on? So I did a little bit more troubleshooting, and I plugged in, I've got an outlet over here, and I plugged that in to some lights outside, and it didn't work either. And so I was like pretty excited, because that meant, okay, you know, maybe I've got like a circuit breaker out, or like even just a fuse that runs a couple of the outlets. And in this case, when I couldn't get that outlet going, I actually knew I had previously experienced that electrical outlet not working before, and I knew it was because I got water over there, and these are what are called, like, they're on like the GFCI circuit, and they are all the outlets that are going to be near water. So basically, if there's a bunch of water, it'll turn those outlets off so that there's no, you know, electrical shocks or, you know, anything going on like that. So the last time that I couldn't get that outlet to work was when I washed the RV, and I have just washed the RV. So I was pretty excited to find that that was the case. So definitely be sure that if you're washing your RV, you might want to go inside your rig and check out where all of your GFCI outlets are. Mine are here by the refrigerator outside, where, you know, rain and water have access. My electrical outlet outside as well, which obviously has exposure to water. The outlet in my kitchen, which is by the sink, is on that circuit, as well as the outlet in the bathroom. So I bet that your RV is going to be really similar. All the outlets near water. It's the same thing in houses. And one of those outlets is going to have a little red button that you push in, just like in houses. I'm sure you've seen it before. So that little button will get popped out when water gets into any of these outlets. So I went in there and I was so thankful, like nothing was working on all of the GFCI outlets, and I could feel that it was pushed out because you can barely tell the difference. So I pushed it in and then the outlets were working again. So it was a really quick fix. Hopefully if you have problems with your refrigerator, it's going to be that simple. Definitely check the outlet first, because that can easily get triggered, and then check for some of the visual stuff. Also, it shouldn't be that dirty, so you might want to keep it clean if you've got a lot of stuff going on, and definitely don't want to get rodents in this area. If you've gone over some of these things and you still don't know exactly what to do, on the back of my refrigerator, and some people say you can find it on the inside of the door, not in my case, but on the back it's got a whole panel of information about the product and the model number and all sorts of stuff like that. So what I did was I just Googled that model number and the brand, and I found the original manual, and it was laid out really well. It was laid out like you could just go through this list, like, is electrical working, is gas working, yes and no, then like go to this page. If gas is working but electrical's not, or vice versa, or it's cooling but it's not cooling enough, go to this page. So it was really great. So that'll be like, after you kind of look through here and get yourself a little acquainted, that should probably be your second step to try to troubleshoot the problems you're having with your refrigerator. So I hope that helps with some of your possible electrical problems or refrigerator problems. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Pippi Peterson. Please go to pipnings.com, check out the RV Living Forum. You can join the community, join the conversations, read the thread. There's a bunch of questions and a bunch of answers with really great information from a bunch of different RVers. You can also get your Keep It Simple bumper sticker at my website and check out my blog. Thanks so much for watching.